punk club in 1986, an 18-year-old girl sat on the side of the stage during a Black Flag concert. Her mind wandered beyond the performance and landed on the people running the sound. She lingered long after the band left. Dave Rat went over and said hello. "Want to do what you do," she said to him. He shrugged and put her to work winding mic cables and pushing boxes. That night, she went from audience member to crew member just like that, he says. "I had no idea what I was doing, but I was a quick study," Karrie says. Indeed, starting at rock bottom, she would go on to mix some of the most seminal bands in rock history. Then she turned around and dedicated herself to soundgirls.org, opening doors for more women to work in an industry dominated by men. Karrie grew up in the LA suburb of La Cañada. Her mom took care of her and her younger siblings while her dad taught at the local high school. In general, her interest leaned toward the arts. She was a typical music fan when she met Dave Rat and was suddenly riding in trucks of audio gear. "He's super supportive of all people," she says of Dave, "but I had to pay my dues like anybody else." The dues included not only the most basic grunt work, but also living in the Sun Valley warehouse illegally. Typical of a struggling sound company that would find success, other than feeding themselves, every dime went back into the business. While Dave said he had no issue about a woman being in this business, others were not so open-minded. Karrie took plenty of heat, but her defense was simply to absorb everything about pro audio. People would come up and try to give her shit, and she'd just kill them with her depth of knowledge, Dave says. Karrie can't remember the exact moment she first touched the board, but in a blink, she transitioned to being a monitor mixer. She was a natural, noting that too many think they are mixing when they need to pay attention to the musician's needs. Her graduate school on monitors came working for LA heroes, the Untouchables, who are credited with being America's first ska band. The popular 10-piece act demanded a lot of attention and was a perfect education for the ambitious engineer. The bulk of her early work was with punk and metal shows, and punk bands never had an issue with her gender, but the metal bands were another story. An example is a Guns N' Roses show that was supposed to be a one-off at the Pasadena Perkins Palace, but then it turned into 5 shows. She calls the experience the most stressful, miserable 5 days of her life, saying Axl Rose rode my ass the whole time, adding she wished she had gotten fired. Drummer Steven Adler did come up after, telling her, "You're going to be a great monitor engineer." Karrie's first major tour was with Corrosion of Conformity, Danzig, and Soundgarden. It was almost not to be, as Danzig's management declared, "We don't want a woman on tour because she'll cause drama." Dave stood up for his able engineer, and at the end of it, Karrie says she was the only one who didn't cause any drama. But clearly, she has no patience for the women on crew drama fallacy and declares Pearl Jam has 10 women on the crew and not one of them has ever caused any drama. It's always some guy who has a stupid issue with catering. She found herself behind the monitor console for the Red Hot Chili Peppers right as they were taking off, and she would take care of them for nearly a decade. Their arena and television performances seriously sharpened her skills, including her people skills, as she developed a mutually respectful, no BS relationship with their sometimes moody lead singer. On a 1991 tour, the opening band's road manager asked her to monitor mix for them as well. She says that from day one, all the Pearl Jam members were super nice human beings who cared about things other than themselves. In addition to those 2 bands, Sonic Youth was calling on her. In 1996, she and Dave had Maddie and Sammy. She stayed off the road for a while, but realized she had to do what she loved or she wouldn't be good for anybody. Touring and raising children weren't easy, but with the help of everyone in her village, she more than made it work. And the girls had some pretty neat experiences along the way as well. By 2005, she had transitioned to nearly exclusively taking care of Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder solo tours. Then, at an AES seminar in 2012, she sat on a panel with 6 who represented the mere 5% of women in pro audio. She connected with another live audio engineer on the panel, Michelle Sabelchik-Patinato, and conversations ensued. We were struck by how similar our experiences, work ethic, and passion were, Karrie says. The 2 founded soundgirls.org that year. Today, as executive director, Karrie heads up a 7-member board of directors, holds overseas workshops, and promotes and encourages women in the pro audio world. She oversees more than 6,000 members in over 20 Soundgirls chapters in North America, Mexico, Australia, and Europe. The workshops they do around the country draw young women and offer a crash course in live audio. Over 70% of the girls attending receive scholarships thanks to her sponsors. At a recent solo show in Florida, Eddie Vedder stopped playing to give props to Kais.
There's about 23 other people that are out here, and one person I wanted to mention today, because we've been through this tour and all the other tours, and she's the one who makes the sound on stage happen. So she's probably gotten more dirty looks from me than I even gave to my parents when I was an adolescent. I know she hates this, but I want you to see what a badass woman looks like who works for a rock band for 20 years and raises 2 kids, and now they're heading off to college. And Karrie, my friend Karrie Keys.
She always stood on her feet, and I've had little to do with her success, Dave Ratt says. She is still continuing to go above and beyond anything I ever taught her. She's established herself as a world-class engineer, as well as what she's done helping the audio community through Sound Girls, he continues. She's just phenomenal, and certainly worthy of this Parnelli honor.